And I'm sorry I'm sounding a little rough here. I am a little bit sick, but it's tax day, and I wanted to take this opportunity to say, hey, what would it be like to not have to worry about a W 2 or 1040 forms or 1099s, all because you earned money? If we got rid of income tax, that would be a nightmare we could all be rid of, even the US government. Tax fraud based on income would be a thing of the past. Not only that, but being punished for earning would be a thing of the past. Punished for not saving, well, I can't protect you from that. In fact, we need to gives us the opportunity to oh, sorry about that. That puts us in a situation where we to control what we pay in tax by what we purchase. How much better is that? It incentivizes saving. Saving is honestly a better way of ensuring that our government is stable. Also means that for this government that is just on the hinge of spend money on anything and everything, I pick winners and losers, it's got to go. It just plain and simple has got to go. So if you're out there and you think, oh, income tax is this great thing because it helps our government to waste our money, then sure, the 16th Amendment to the Constitution is wonderful for you guys. But all the people out there who hundreds of millions of dollars in taxes versus the little guys who, after all is said and done, gets a pittance in return, and government is saying, oh, it's okay, you didn't make enough money, so here's a handout for you. Younger, I relied on a tax return because I didn't make very much. It sucked. And as I got older and I made more and started having to really pay taxes, my God, I found that it's really punishing. And income taxation has become has become more intrusive. The cost of paying taxes has also become more intrusive. We have a tax industry that worth billions and billions of dollars. Why should it be that? Eliminating income tax would mean we would be able to eliminate hundreds of thousands of IRS agents, which could be deployed in other agencies or go in more productive jobs. And this would then watch all the businesses that have transactions, and they would see an inflow of tax payments from those businesses on a daily basis, not just a weekly basis or a bi-weekly basis of estimated taxes or quarterly or payments of estimated taxes, annual payment of taxes. This would be a payment on consumption from sales every day. As businesses sell products, they just have to collect a tax. And that tax is paid upon collection of those funds. And then they are paid within 24 hours of that tax collection. IRS would then be monitoring and ensuring that sales are correct. And sales numbers for corporations become a situation where the IRS monitors tax collection versus what sales revenue is recorded as. And ensures that tax collection is accurate from those companies. Top 5 people in a company responsible for ensuring that those taxes are paid. For those accountants out there who go, well, what? They lose a lot of money for tax season. Well, you'll just find work that is going to be more streamlined throughout the year instead of dedicated to just a few months out of the year. Though good tax accountants, they ensure that their business years are floating all year round anyway. But business won't have to worry about income taxes either. They will have to worry about their purchases. No more of this work product. The little cups and plates and spoons and the copper, gold, silver, arsenic, chromium, plastics, oil, whatever the company's purchase from another company is considered a taxable product, and businesses will have to pay a tax on those products. Yeah, just like you and me. And taxes, and then the company collecting those taxes will then forward those taxes. Now, for you little guys who are on like Etsy and Amazon, well, you'll be paying your taxes on the products you buy for the products you make. And then when you put them on your Etsy store or on Amazon store, when you put your price up there of what you want to make, then your price would be increased to reflect the price of the product with tax. And when that product sells, Etsy or Amazon or eBay or whatever, or gets sold on, will collect that tax and ensure that it gets paid to the happy US government. And then you get your fair share. Simple. No having to worry about, did I record every sale? And did I make over $600 in a year? So I have to record it as taxable income. None of that anymore. It, the tax is collected and done with. When you go to buy a car as a consumer, the price you negotiate for the car has to include taxes. So car dealers now in some part of the United States will have to be collecting those taxes. No more hiding behind a state law that says, oh, you don't have to collect taxes. We as the state will collect that from your consumer. No, that's not happening. It has to be taken care of by the dealer. I know in a lot of states that's not a worry, but in some states it is. Oh, this is so painful. Oh, another area of taxation that really bothers me personally, beyond the fact that income taxes is a huge waste. Money on collecting sales tax than any other tax. We have more fraud based on income tax than any other tax. Let's take the opportunity for fraud out of the question and reduce the cost of collecting taxes. Well, the IRS that don't really need to be harassing average American citizens because they forgot something on a tax form or didn't understand what it meant. You need to hire a tax accountant to be able to file your taxes for you because it's too complex. It seems like simple things, but at the end of the day, it's your money. It's your livelihood. Why should our government be able to indiscriminately earn the average American into a criminal because they don't understand the tax system. Well, that one felt better. Social Security taxes. Our government has been plundering that for years, and they haven't been doing their fiduciary duty with that money. If any business were to do what the US government does with tax monies, they would be being prosecuted and put in jail. But because they are the government and they make the rules, they can pretty much do whatever the damn well they please. So they can collect your so-called retirement money, which lots and lots of businesses had programs in which had pension funds, and it was earned throughout the lifetime of a worker working for the business. He did it encourage a worker to stay with a business for a long term, but it helped to, this is stronger. The US government came in and said, oh, the poorest people, they need a safety line. And after the first Social Security payments started being paid back in the 1950s, states started to decrease. Now there's hardly an organization you can find, except for maybe government, that actually does have a pension fund anymore. The US government destroyed one of the safety nets that workers had for working their entire life. To fix that, we need to fix how Social Security works. A fix that takes government hands out of our pockets once again and turns government back into a regulatory organization like it's intended to be. So when a new worker comes into the workforce or a current worker in the workforce, they need to go and open a retirement account. Not one of these IRA things or a company held 401k or 403b, one of numerous retirement accounts that you as a consumer have very little control over. Although with a 401k and a 403b, you do have a little bit of control. I'm talking, you need real control. So get rid of the 401ks and 403b plans. And when a company says, oh, we have retirement account matching, take it. And when you get money paid into Social Security, then they should be matching those funds that go into your account because that's your money. And instead of it going to the US government, it goes into your account. And as that money grows, which if you choose to have it in just a simple savings style account, it won't grow very fast at all. To have it in stocks and bonds and whatever you want the mix to be that you feel safe about. Hopefully, it encourages you to learn more about the markets and how you can benefit from the markets. Now, and since it's a retirement account, it can't be used for fancy things like calls and puts and that kind of risky behavior. Sorry, but that's this doesn't cut it. And you should be getting information and where they're at in the companies that you're invested in. So if they start doing poorly, you should be able to move your money from this to another and effectively have total control over your retirement accounts. That's just two areas where taxation needs to be open and transparent to you as the taxpayer and how it prepares you for retirement in the future. How companies can say, hey, as part of your company benefited plan, it will provide you stock from the company in lieu of cash payments for your retirement account. And you can accept those. And you can hold on to those until such time as you leave that company. And when you leave that company, choose to begin selling those stocks, putting those stocks in your portfolio mix in your portfolio, or you can just hang on to them. Not everybody leaves the company because they company is doing poorly. So, opportunities there to retire and you actually reach retirement and you potentially would have enough money for you and your spouse to live comfortably until you die. And on death, your spouse takes complete control over all of your funds, minus what has been agreed upon your will to go to your children upon your spouse's death. Whatever is left, there is a collection of a portion that goes to the U.S. government. Sorry, but government has to have its cut in these things, but it's not to exceed 15%. The remaining is then split as seen fit by you airing your money to others and or to charities or churches, however you see fit. it's it's one of those situations where you need to understand and need to be able to control. So, much as I would like this to go on for an hour, I am way too sick to push this on much further. And we have no comments here. And nobody's requested anything from me at this point. So we're going to end this here shortly. This campaign will not be able to succeed without donations. So I will honestly be asking for donations to help me out because I can't do this forever for free and have this be a valid campaign. So coming soon will be some products that you can purchase, and hopefully you like what my perspective is on taxation and being able to take home your entire paycheck and deciding where you spend your money. Sales of things you purchase. Go further into all of this on another live. I am going to consider doing a daily podcast here coming soon. It's just a slightly different platform at a slightly different hour of the day. So let's have a wonderful rest of your day. Hopefully you don't owe any taxes and you're good. Later.